We referenced this. You also talked about to the president about the so-called taco trade.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now.
It was a Financial Times reporter, probably not a big fan of Trump, that came up with it. And then I guess the Wall Street Journal wrote about some trading floors that had talked about it. That my initial thought was, these are the same people that were up in arms when the tariffs are announced. And then when there is instead of embracing the walk back, or whether it is some signs of progress from the other side, whatever causes the walk back, instead of embracing it, it's like Trump's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Damned when he puts on the Trumps, damned when he pauses the reciprocal. But snark is the word of the for Frank Holland. That's the word of the day every day in this current environment that you're in right now. But you touched the nerve there, that's for sure.
That's right. He didn't like the question, but it was a chance really for him to defend this strategy. The Journal had written it up. The New York Times had written it up. It was starting to sort of circulate a little bit further. And it also just touches on this broader debate that we'd already heard even before this term had coined about whether the president was bluffing, whether these were real threats, whether other countries would continue to come to the negotiating table if they didn't think that these tariffs were going to be followed through on because so many had been paused. With this ruling, I think that discussion, we get back to that because the president, as you heard, was very defensive. He said this strategy is working because other countries are talking to us. Now, as you guys said just before I was on, this pulls the rug out. It really blunts that leverage. So we do have to see what happens next because there are many, at least 18 or 20 trade negotiations ongoing, deals we have been expecting. Do those pause? I wouldn't expect so, but maybe it means that other countries don't agree to as much as they would have. And we had heard Trump administration officials arguing in recent days to the court not to go through with this because they had the leverage right now. Now we don't know what happens to that.
Right. I mean, I could see countries still wanting to not poke the bear. Maybe they agree to less, but I still wouldn't like to be the last country that offers absolutely nothing for the next 3.5 years, whatever it's going to be. That might not be smart either. And also, Megan,
especially because there's things. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in the old days when a lot like the left and right both loved Trump, when the old days when he was a developer, he was on Saturday Night Live, and people were asking for autographs. They loved him. But he got in a chicken outfit to sell Trump chicken or something like that. And I just probably wishes that he hadn't played along with SNL at that point, because that's what was in all of the trending tweets yesterday. It was the most, it was on top of the Twitter trends. You probably saw that, your question. But every one of them had him in that yellow chicken outfit.
Right. But I would also just say, Joe, that, to your point about not wanting to be the last country that offers nothing, there are, of course, other things besides tariffs that the president could turn to. We're seeing a big fight over visas right now, for example. But there are any number of, as they've talked about, non-tariff barriers and other, even beyond the economy as well. So if it's not tariffs, it may well be something else. And he just wants other countries to respond by lowering their tariffs or their non-tariff barriers. It can still come back to trade, even if he has to take a different approach at this point.
Well, for whatever reason, Megan, if the S&P were to go up 90 points a day, it's just below all-time highs. So somehow, after all is said and done, we are not far from the all-time high on the S&P, which is, I guess that's, if you left and went to Mars like Elon Musk for a couple of months and came back, you wouldn't even know anything happened. But Megan Cassella, thank you.